Welcome back for our second lesson in 6th grade accelerated math. This time we're going to be learning to understand simple and equivalent ratios. We're going to use something called a tape diagram to do that. It's actually going to be pretty cool. Now when you open up your package, the very first question that they ask is for you to write a one-sentence story about a ratio. I was a high achiever. I wrote a two-sentence story. I said that I ate 7 out of 10 stuffed mushrooms that we ordered from Longhorn Steakhouse. My wife was not happy with me. So that would be because I really love their stuffed mushrooms. Your ratio would be the 7 to 10, excuse me, 7 to 8 ratio. That means my wife only got one, which she also thinks I'm getting too fat apparently. So yeah, she has me on a diet. So goes life. All right, you guys are going to need to start off by writing your own ratio story here, just a one-sentence story problem. And then after that, you're going to take and convert that into an actual numeric ratio two different ways. Pause the recording and do that. So how did I write my numeric ratio? Well, one of them I did great. I wrote 7 column 8 for 7 to 8, and the other one I wrote 7 2, and you know, I completely forgot the last number. Have no idea what happened, why I quit doing that. Obviously, I got distracted by something, but you know, life happens sometime. So we're going to move forward from there, and this time we're going to take and create, now let me jump over to another program. We're going to create something that is called a tape diagram to represent this ratio. The problem says that Shawnee and Mel are using a ribbon to decorate the project for their art class. The ratio of the length of Shawnee's ribbon to Mel's ribbon is 7 to 3. Draw a tape diagram to represent the ratio. Now I'm going to build one and then I'll explain to you what we did. Alright, so here's my tape diagram, and let me explain what it is. First off, the tape name came from back using colored tape and cutting pieces of colored tape the same size and taping them on a sheet of paper. We live in a digital world now with GoodNotes, so instead of using colored tape, you're going to have access to squares. And I have put a video on GoodNotes, on Canvas, showing you how to create a stamp tool with these colored squares. And I uploaded these squares to Canvas as well. So I would encourage you right now to stop your video, download those, or watch how to create the stamp tool, and then put those colored squares into your stamp tool so you would have them for this resource. It'll make your homework go a whole lot quicker. So what did I do? I have 7 pieces of green tape and 3 pieces of orange tape. That is a 7 to 3 ratio for Shawnee and Mel's ribbon. So here's the tape diagram of it, and now we're going to take and I'm going to copy these because I'm going to need them here in just a minute as I answer the next question. Well, actually I was wrong. I did not need it. We're going on to a new problem. This time we're looking at Mason and Laney, who ran laps to train for long distance running team. The ratio of the number of laps Mason ran to the number of laps Lacey ran is going to be 2 to 3. And it says if Mason ran 4 miles, how far did Laney run? Draw a tape diagram to demonstrate how you found your answer. Now I'm going to work the first part for you, where we're going to take and create our tape diagram, and you can see I've already built mine here. You're going to need to pause and put that into your GoodNotes so you're going to have it. And you can see that there was a 2 to 3 ratio. I labeled my sides. The 2's is Mason and the 3 is going to be Laney. I also listed the fact that Mason did 4 miles total. So if we were to take the 2 sections for Mason and divide that 2 into 4, we would find that each one of them was going to be 2 miles. This one's 2 miles, and this one is 2 miles. 2 plus 2 is 4. Now you notice that the boxes for Laney are the same size as the boxes for Mason. So we're going to make those all go 2 as well, and that means 2 plus 2 plus 2 That means it's going to give us 6. So we can say then that Laney ran 6 miles. And you would need to put that word answer in. You can't just write down a 6 and be done. You have to explain what that 6 means. It means that Laney ran 6 miles. Now, you pause the recording and work on the next part of the problem, where we're going to take a look at the fact that we know that Laney ran 930 meters, and we want to know how far Mason ran. So did you get it done? Let me show you what I did. I used my same tape diagram this time, still have my labels for Mason and Laney, but there was a bear trap in this one. Last time we ended up putting Mason's numbers down. This time they gave us Laney's numbers right here. So I'm going to put the 930 in for Laney. There's 3 sections. 930 divided by 3 means that each one of these sections for Laney are 310. Mason's sections are the same size. They're also going to be 310 each. And when you do that times 2, you end up getting 620. So we can say that Mason ran 620 meters. See how easy that is? It's a really cool way to get a solid visualization of why these ratios are equivalent and that we are creating equivalent ratios. Now we're going to take this a little bit further. We're going to scroll down and say, what can we say, what ratios can we say are equivalent to 2 to 3? Well, we came up with 2 of them. Up here, right there, we got a 4 to 6. So I can say that 4 to 6 is going to be an equivalent ratio. We also have this equivalent ratio right here that says 620 to, whoop, not a comma, to, so I'm using a colon, 930. That's going to be another equivalent ratio. Now, we got a brand new problem, and you're going to work this one entirely on your own, all the way through the problem. Then we'll discuss it. For this one, Josie took a long multiple choice test. End of year vocabulary test. The ratio of the number of problems she got incorrect to the number of problems she got correct is 2 to 9. She didn't get an A. Bad Josie. If Josie missed 8 questions, how many did she get correct? And on both parts of this, you're going to create your own tape diagram. So go ahead and pause the video and work on that. So how'd that work out for you? When I did it, I set it up as a 2 to 9, 2 incorrect, 9 correct. I also labeled them incorrect and correct. Now I know that Josie got 8 problems incorrect, and we want to find out how many she got correct. Well, I have 2 sections that equaled 8 problems, so each one of those is going to be 4 incorrect problems. And we're going to carry that same pattern all the way across to find an equivalent ratio here. So I can take and say 4 times itself, actually 4 times 9, that is going to be 36. So we know, phone's ringing here, got to talk to the wife, but we know that if Lacey got 8 problems incorrect, then she got 36 problems correct. Not terrible grade, but she could still have done better. And I'm back with you again. We can say now in words, you got to put words explaining it, that Josie got 36 problems correct. Now, that was a short test. We also had a whole nother test. This time, she missed 20 questions, but this was a much longer test, and we want to find out if she missed 20, how many did she get right? And you should have done this one already too. So what we're going to do is take our same tape diagram that we had, where we have the 20 incorrect, and we know that, well, 20 divided by 2, that's going to be 10. So every single one of these sections are going to be 10 questions long. So she had 20 incorrect questions, and 10 times 9 means she got 90 correct questions. And from there, we can scroll down again. And in words, you can't just throw down the math. You got to put the words to go with it. Josie got 90 questions correct. That answered that part, but we are not done. For the rest of this, I'm going to jump over to where I worked it in GoodNotes, because it's a whole lot easier to see what we did. I don't want to have to rewrite it all. So what ratios can we say are equivalent? Well, that's going to be the 8 to 36 and the 20 to 90. And we can see both of those, 8 to 36 and 20 to 90 right there. And then we can say, what is another possible ratio that would be equivalent to those? And the one I did is I did 4 to 18. And the way I got 4 to 18 is I took and divided the 8 and 36 by 2, or I multiplied the 2 and 9 by 2. Either way, I'm either multiplying or dividing both of the given numbers by the same value. Now, what I wrote down for my answer, how did I find the numbers? I said I saw I could divide both 8 and 36 by 2, simplifying them to be 4 and 18. This created an equivalent ratio. Like I said, you could use multiplication too, since that's more of what we've been doing with the tape diagrams. And then from there it says, how do we create equivalent ratios? Well, the answer to that, to create an equivalent ratio, you need to multiply or divide each value of the ratio by the same exact number. That's what I put in there. We were almost done, but we still have one more page to do. So for this page, take and pause the recording, read through your instructions, answer the remaining questions, and then get back with me. So how did it go? So what I did is I took and started, number 1, 2 ratios that are equivalent to 1 to 1. Well, I multiplied 1 and 1 by 2, and that gave me 2 to 2. 1 and 1 by 4, and that gave me 4 to 4. There we go. 2 ratios are equivalent to 3 and 11. I multiplied 3 and 11 by 2, got 6 and 22. I multiplied it by 3 and got 3 and 33. Good. Answered both those questions with more equivalent ratios. From here, we said the ratio of the width of the rectangle to the height of the rectangle. Well, the width was 9 units wide. The height is 4 units tall. So it's going to be a 9 to 4 ratio. And then it says that if each square of the grid is 8 millimeters, what's the width and the height going to be? Well, the width is going to be 72, because 8 plus 8 plus 8 all the way through is 72. And this way, it adds up to be 32. So that gives me a 72 to 32 ratio. And then next we got a project for a health class where Jasmine and Brenda record the amount of milk they drink every day. Jasmine drank 2 pints of milk each day. Brenda drank 3 pints of milk. Question 1, write a ratio of the number of pints of milk Jasmine drank to the pints that Brenda drank. Well, that's 2 to 3. All right, we're good there, golden. Next, represent a scenario with the tape diagrams. So I did that down here. I created my tape diagram. Don't worry about those numbers. Those are coming later. I have my 2 to 3 ratio. And then for question 3, if 1 pint was equal to 2 cups, that's where those numbers come in. How many cups of milk did each of them drink? Well, I said 2 times 2 it can be 2 plus 2 is going to be 4, or 2 times 2 is 4 as well. So Jasmine drank 4 cups of milk, and then 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 6. So Brenda drank 6 cups of milk. Almost done, not quite there. That is a ratio is going to be 4 to 6, and it asks, is 4 to 6 going to be equivalent to the 2 to 3 we saw here? The answer is absolutely yes, because if I multiplied both 2 and 3 by 2, you get, I wonder where the rest of that sentence went to. You get 4 and 6. That's it for this lesson. You have a homework assignment to knock out that looks like this. It requires tape diagrams. Don't just be throwing down numbers. You got to give me the tape diagrams to justify your work, showing that you understand why these values are going to be equivalent. I look forward to seeing what you send me.